This is Ben Doughty for Sugar, Silk and Stretch with world-class welterweight Michael McKINSON. How's it going today?
Yeah, I'm amazing. It feels good to be here, finally with a date and finally with a decent fight. So I'm happy.
I've got to say, I've always admired you for taking the Virgil Ortiz fight, which was a fight that you weren't fancied to win against a proper world-class beast of a fighter. You knew it'd be life-changing if you won, or lost arguably, but how has it been since that loss to Virgil Ortiz, but rebuilding and putting yourself in a good position?
Yeah, the Ortiz fight out in Texas, I think a lot of people thought I would go there and get walked through in a couple of rounds, but I gave a great account of myself and I did really well, like, other than the loss, but I thought there'd be a lot quicker opportunities come from it, and there hasn't. I've had 4 fights, but I've kind of been in the ring with people that I'm kind of maybe expected to beat, and I've been a pro 10 years. They're not the fights I want. I want I didn't look out of place when I fought Ortiz at the world-class level, so that's the level I should be at. So getting this opportunity for the IBO against a genuine world-class operator is the first time I've kind of been that extra motivated for a big fight since the Ortiz fight, really, because the 4 opponents I've boxed since, I've been expected to win. There hasn't
House corner.
Exactly, and as I came up through the ranks and got the opportunities, people know I prefer being the underdog. I prefer that label, that title, because it helps me perform a lot better. It's happened many times, like going up, like when I fought Sam McNess, when I fought Congo, even early on when I fought Ryan Martin, Colin Lyons. A lot of people thought I would lose them fights, and that's how they're probably the fights I've performed best on, because I prefer having my back up against the wall, people writing me off. So yeah, that's how I like it, and I'll hopefully boxing a guy higher up than me in every ranking, higher up on me on BoxRec, higher up on me the IBO, the WBC, all of the rankings he's ranked higher. So hopefully a lot of people write me off on this one.
Yeah, the opponent for the next fight. You know how I feel. You probably know how I feel about IBO titles, and I'm very vocal as a journalist about the over-proliferation of titles. But it's not your fault. It is what it is. The opponent is a decent fighter in Tulani Mabenge. What do you know about him at this stage?
How I see it, I see the IBO as a great bargaining tool for the genuine world names. Like, for example, when Sebastian Formella won it at my weight, he got the Sean Porter fight off of it. So that's how I'm seeing this. I'm kind of 1 fight away from life-changing fights again. So yeah, this opponent, Mbenge, he has held the IBO before. He's a big punch-in, he's rangy, he's dangerous. He was very unlucky not to beat Sissoko out in Paris in his last fight. He lost the WBC #1. He lost on a split decision, which means he really won the fight. So he's definitely a fighter of high magnitude, but they're the fights I want to be in, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Did some people sweet talk you after the Ortiz fight, telling you that you'll be right back and there'll be major opportunities, and well done, son, you're such a good fighter and don't you worry, we'll look after you, and it didn't necessarily materialise? Yeah,
it was obviously a bit of a pill to swallow taking my first defeat. But I left Texas with so much praise and kind of reassurance that I'm going to get so many big opportunities off the back of it. We're over 2 years down the line and this is my first decent opportunity. So it hasn't been that. I've kind of been the forgotten welterweight. Like, the Boxing News ranked me as #1 welterweight the last 2 years, I think. I see myself as the #1 welterweight.
I think you've proven it out in the field, and when you say Boxing News regard you, that is probably the most credible ranking position because they don't have a vested interest. And I think you said you've won on the road or as the non-fancy fighter against the likes of McNess way back when I was ringside for that, against Chris Congo and all the rest of it. So I think you've proven that position more than anybody else, I would say.
Yeah, I've definitely boxed at a higher level than anyone else, going over and fighting Ortiz. So I've definitely been in the ring. So I am the best welterweight in the UK, definitely. But I'm kind of the forgotten welterweight. I'm the guy that no one really speaks about and nobody really wants to speak about and stuff. So every time I go into a fight, I've kind of got my back up against the wall. Like, I have to prove it and I have to remind everybody again who is number one out like in the UK we've got. So but I don't mind it that way. I love proving people wrong. I love when people are writing me off and I come through it. That's what I enjoy.
You said you've been sparring in Manchester.
Yeah. Last week I got a call to go up and spar Jack Rafferty, who's fighting Henry Turner for the British title. And they've been unbelievable rounds up there. He's a very fit guy. Like going up, you think you're fit until you're sparring somebody like Jack Rafferty, I tell you. But been good rounds. I jumped to the opportunity. I came down. I got the train down today for this, and I'm straight back up because I've got my last spar with him tomorrow. So it's been good up there. I'll go away again in a couple of weeks to the States. I was out there, I think, 6 weeks ago. I'll go out in a couple of weeks and get good sparring out there. So I've had a real good summer, a long summer, but a real good summer to prepare. And now we can up it again. The date's been announced, and yeah, I'm gonna be unbelievable on October the 19th.
Can I get a quick word from you about the main event, Ohara Davies versus Adam Azim?
Yeah, I've actually lucky enough to have sparred both in the past. Ohara probably won't remember, but I sparred him when I was about 15 at the TKO gym.
The old TKO, that was a legendary gym.
Yeah, I sparred him there, and I sparred Adam when he was like 2-3-0, and like, so it was early on in his career, but I remember him having unbelievable hand speed. Nice guy. It's a great fight. I think a lot of people were basing it off of last performances, and obviously it was not very good for Ohara Davies, and I don't really, I wouldn't base it off that. I think he's got a lot left. I think it's a great test for Adam, somebody that's kind of been there, done it, and it's definitely an exciting fight, and it's got a lot of people talking.
We look forward to seeing that main event and your performance on the night. While I think about it, you should come as a guest on the live podcast for Sugar, Silk and Stretch with Gary Stretch and Michael Elijah. That'd be a lot of fun, so I'll hit you up about that. Thank you very much for your time today, and good luck, sir.
Brilliant.